Hello, Caroline.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Always great pleasure to see you again.
Hello, hello.
And maybe this time is different because this time we finally, thanks God, we have our life back. So I know how much life means to you. I know how much the life contact with people means to you because you're an artist and you work with feelings and emotions, and we've been away from this for quite a long time.
Absolutely.
So how happy are you that?
I'm very happy that, everything sort of gets, if you call it normal, gets somehow back to normal. I don't know where the past 2 years really went, but somehow we managed. Obviously, it is very nice to be back, also in a fair, Watches and Wonders, physically, not on Zoom and on Teams and all these funny new technical ways of communicating, which we had to use, and thanks God it was there.
Absolutely.
It's so much better to see people in real life and to touch and feel, and even if you're going to see later, we're going to go to the atelier or you're going to go see some novelties in the fair. It's so different. I need the contact. I need the contact with the clients, with the press, with my friends, obviously.
All the big gurus of energy and life coaching, they say if you want to stay young and stay happy, you have to keep the little child in you and not to kill it. And I know that there is a little girl inside there. That
Always.
So,
Always. That has not changed.
Yeah, so let's talk about this little girl. Tell me, what is your childhood? How did you grow up?
I had a very, I must say, I had a very happy childhood. I was always a very playful girl. I would always do something with my hands, drawing or sculpting or.
Were you naughty?
I was pretty naughty. I think. I should ask my mom, but I know I did some naughty things. I liked to go to school, but I didn't like to do homework. So I always sneaked around somehow but I did what I had to do, but I never did the extra.
Okay.
So I played piano, played a lot, skied a lot. I did lots of sports. So I think that was a good thing because even for later on it's good. And first part of my school, I went to school in Germany, where we were born, close to Baden-Baden. And then with the age of 13, I moved to Geneva, and I went to international school, where I finished everything in English. So that was a change, because before all the classes were in German. Well, one day to the next, I had to switch my brain to another language. But it went actually quite fast, because I think when you're a kid, you adapt very quickly. Mm-hmm. And I thank my parents that have put me in that school, because it opened up my mind, because you have over 60 nationalities from all over the world.
Wow.
So I think that was also a helpful education, especially now in my job.
What did you use to draw? What was the first drawings?
All sorts of things, all sorts. Nature, landscapes, animals, anything actually. So
when we are
not cars.
Yeah, no.
My brother was drawing cars. Yes.
Without going into details of the personal chapter of your life, but what did you learn from all your previous experiences in love?
I think you learn something every day, and there is a saying that you should learn something every day, whether it's a small thing, whether it's a big thing. But I learned, first of all, that we are living in a very beautiful planet, and that definitely we have to respect it more, because when I travel, I sometimes see very poor countries, underdeveloped, the governments not taking care of the people, and I think we have to, do a little good thing every day, in whatever area it is. It doesn't cost to pick up a phone and call a friend and say, "Hi, how are you? I was thinking about you today," for example. or make a little donation to something that is close to your heart, or do something that you feel that I've done this today, and don't wait for tomorrow. Do it now.
Excellent. Do you have a lot of friends?
I have a lot of people I know. I have a few very good friends.
Are you picky in choosing friends?
I'm getting more selective.
Very selective.
Yeah. Okay. And my mom said once to me, because when I was a kid I have so many friends, and then my mom says to me, you will see when you get older, if you have one handful, means 5 very good ones, that's a lot.
Wow.
And it's more or less like this,
Wow. What do you call friend? What is a friend for you?
A friend is somebody who doesn't expect anything from you. A friend is somebody that even if you don't call for 3-4 weeks, but then you call, it's not like, oh, why didn't you call me? I'm upset. You should, somebody who's pushing you. A friend is somebody who's there when you're down, not only when you're funny and having a good time and going out. I think that's a friend. Somebody you can trust, somebody who understands your character, the way you think, the way you feel. I think that's a friend.
When we are multilingual, which language do you think of?
It depends really where I am or what I think about.
Okay.
Strangely enough, when it concerns the family, I dream in German.
Okay.
And when it's something more friends or work, it's either English or French. So...
Hello.
Hello there. So it's always connected to the subject. So it's pretty funny, actually.
Before we close the chapter of the personal life, what do you do when you're in a bad mood?
Listen to music.
Okay.
Or go in the gym, or go for a walk. And the good thing is, I like animals. Now, right now, I only have 4 dogs, but I had 10 dogs. They feel it, and then they always come and they bring me toys, and they really have this sense of sensing people, whether they're like happy, not happy. So they always manage to turn around my mood.
Excellent.
It's all about love here. They never ask for anything except for the cookies. But what can I say? They only give, they never ask. It's a sort of such a good feeling when you have animals around you. They love kids. We can.
My dearest, this is your little heaven, I guess.
Yes, part of it.
This is where you've been hiding for
for 2 years. Not really hiding. I was very happy to have it.
Absolutely.
Because,
so tell me.
As you might think, being me, she doesn't know how to cook.
Actually, yes, I had this impression.
But I love cooking because it's very inspiring, creative at the same time, because sometimes I just open the cupboards and I say, I could use this, I could do that, and I invent recipes.
Fantastic, excellent.
So it's pretty much a professional...
Where do you have your spices?
Spices are everywhere. Spices are here.
Oh, okay.
Spices are here. But I like to cook as much as I can with fresh spices, like rosemary, thyme, persil is a must have, lemon, must have in the Middle Eastern kitchen.
Absolutely.
Very important. Fresh curry powder.
Do you have any spices from our region?
Yeah, we have the sumac.
Okay.
Sumac, which goes in the Arabic salad.
Yes. Sumac.
No?
Yes.
Then here's spices everywhere. There's more spices.
Oh, wow.
Then you have a lot of Chinese spices and Einstein coming around. Einstein. He's
This is maybe not good for you, my dear.
No. Einstein. Good morning. I haven't seen you yet. Where have you been? So, yeah, cooking starts with good ingredients, fresh ingredients, and it's always good to cook with things from the season.
They say it's a good therapy, though.
It's a good therapy.
Yeah.
So we're going to make a very simple, fresh vegetable pasta.
Okay.
We start with a little bit of olive oil from Liban.
Oh, okay.
There's actually a very good one in Liban. Must say, it's not only the Italians.
Absolutely.
Or the Greeks. To get our onions done.
Mm-hmm.
And at the same time, un peu de rosemary. So this was pretty much an occupation during COVID.
Wow.
I have a collection of cookbooks, I'll show you later.
Oh, yes, please.
From around the world. And I tried from Peru to American recipes, Italian, of course, which is one of my favorite kitchen, Chinese, Lebanese.
Okay.
I've tried a bit of everything. This is actually, if I had to choose one kitchen that I can always eat, it would be Italian.
Yeah, absolutely, I love that.
Even though I like the Asian food very much.
Very healthy.
Yeah,
like
sushis. Lebanese I love. Yeah. I often make the Arabic salad, with fetouche, tabouleh, and you make the mint and the lemon and is it granate? Pomegranate, no?
Roman.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's good.
Fantastic. I learned how to cook also in COVID. I think it's
you cook?
Therapy.
It's very good.
Yes.
I mean, when you cook like a plate, you can always, add or change things. When you make a dessert, you have to respect.
Yes, dessert is different.
The recipe exactly by the book, because otherwise you mess it up.
Absolutely.
The Austrian kitchen has the best desserts.
Yeah.
Definitely. So this takes a bit of time. As all good things in life take some time.
Absolutely.
You have to be patient. But maybe meanwhile I show you the cookbooks.
Follow us.
But I have no more space, so I have to create, I don't know, another
so these
place.
Are like international from all over
Yeah.
Okay.
You have Liban.
Okay.
Palestine. Austria, France, a lot of Italy, German.
Any favorite chef?
I have a couple. I have a good friend who is a 2-star chef called Sylvestre Vaid. He's from Pakistan.
Okay.
And he went to France, changed place, and he got 2 stars again immediately. So it's great chef.
Absolutely.
Not too, how do I say, it's real food. It's not like, one carrot with a little strawberry by the side. So we add tomato.
Cherry tomatoes.
Cherry tomatoes.
Yes, and now in your future events, in the menu, we're going to have Caroline's recipes.
Yeah, you
never know.
Yeah. This really has to take some time. Salt, an important part of our life. And these are very special pasta. It's gluten-free.
Oh, yes.
No eggs. And I got this from an Italian friend for Christmas. And I must say they're really good.
Okay.
So,
sometimes some gluten-free stuff, they're not tasty that much.
no, but
This one is good.
okay.
Okay.
And then, of course, it depends what's in here.
Yeah.
It's going to depend what I'm doing here.
You invite a lot of friends over to eat?
Yeah.
Yes?
I like, when I'm home in Switzerland, I like my friends to come home. We have beautiful restaurants, of course, but I think it's never the same as being at home
Absolutely.
with somebody.
And the way you made it, it's nice to have them
Yeah,
around.
I have
so
a
you
beautiful
continue-
dining room, but it's hardly
No,
used.
here it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, it's official, but most people, they prefer to be here.
Yes. Our chef in the house.
But in cooking, you have to be patient.
Yep. Not in life, only in cooking.
Nice too, I suppose. You like it al dente, no?
Yep. De rien, it's a big dish. Moi, je pensais it's gonna be small, but I think...
No,
Wow.
it's for everybody.
Voilà.
That's it.
Je vais faire comme Top Chef. 3, 2, 1... Les mains haut.
Obligé de rester dans ce coin.
If we want to talk about the clown, which is like a big part of your life, because it was a character in the first collection, and you said once that clown makes people happy, but sometimes he's sad inside. So sometimes did you feel that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Happened to me, but I don't show much. I pass over it because I also say, everything passes, and especially when I work, I'm trying to motivate my team. So I always also say to the people when, leave your bad mood at home. It's no need to bring it to the office. If you're really bad, stay home.
Absolutely.
So yes, the clown, very important piece of jewelry at Chopin. Well, the clown is actually my very first design. I was not working then. I was still in school. I was 16, and as I told you, I like circus. I used to like to go to circus. Not so much the animals, because I think they should not be in cages, but the clowns. And the clowns, why? Because they make people happy, and as you said, normally they are sad personalities. So the happy diamond concept already existed, which means the diamonds freely spinning around in the watch, but we didn't have any jewelry. We were a pure watch manufacturing company, and so I draw the clown, a little clown with happy diamonds in the tummy, and my dad saw the design and he took it, and for Christmas he made me that clown as a surprise in a real piece of jewelry in gold. And one day I go to visit the atelier and I see clowns a bit everywhere. And I said, Dad, there's some clowns everywhere. I thought I have something unique. He says, yeah, it's a small series because they saw it on you, because my parents always invited clients home. And it's actually a very nice piece of jewelry, and So we made a small series. First minute I was very upset because I felt like, not that he stole my design, but I thought I have this special piece. And he says, you'll understand later. You'll be proud about this clown. And actually this clown was the beginning of all the Chopin jewelry. So it's a very important little
Excellent,
piece.
excellent, excellent. Caroline, now I want to know, what was your feeling when your dad, because of you, he introduced the jewelry line to the house? Because I guess it was only for watches when he first started, right?
It was 100% a watch manufacturing company. And it all started with this little clown that I designed when I was 16. So actually, I think he didn't expect it. But obviously the happy diamond is very recognizable and it's perfect for jewelry. So that's how the whole jewelry side started. First we had the clown and then came the elephant and then immediately the little hearts. So it was a nice compliment to the watches, and it just kept growing. And then as going along a little later, I started to take more and more of ground, and I started to design real jewelry. I mean, what I call real jewelry, more important jewelry. And I think one of the first ones was the Strada collection, and then where it started still with the watch. The first design was a watch, and then I complemented with the jewelry.
Okay.
But it was already full pavé set necklaces and beautiful earrings. And then came cashmere, and cashmere is inspiration of the paisley pattern. And that was somehow a switch in my brain. I started with the jewelry first, and then came the watches.
But he had a vision. It wasn't the dad who wanted to please his daughter.
No. I mean, if it would not have worked, I'm sure I was not allowed to do it. If it was not a commercial success, or if it would not make sense, then he would not have let me do it. For sure not. But he saw that there is a complementary to the watches, and today the jewelry side is actually just pieces-wise bigger than the watch side. Turnover-wise, I would say 55-45. So it's a big part of Chopin.
Did you feel the responsibility when he handed over to you and Carl, managing the company?
Well, it sort of went over time. It came naturally. I mean, in the beginning, obviously, nor my brother nor me. My brother started 4 years before me. We were not allowed to do everything, but sort of organically with time, we got more responsibility, and the company was growing, so there was enough work for everybody. And my parents, they're still there. They don't come every day, but they're still there in, les mignons crises, as we say. And we're happy they're still there.
I'm going to talk to Carl in a bit about you, but I want you to tell me, what does he represent for you, and how do you define him?
Well, my brother is somehow my best friend. In all respects. We've always been, whenever I joined Chopin, which is a long time ago, I was first trained in Germany, but then I came back to Geneva. And then I was put in his office, and he says, "Oh my God, now she's coming," because we're very much yin and yang. He's very diplomatic. He's very patience. Otherwise, I would be incapable to make these mechanical movements, complications, because it takes so much time and passion. Some of them take 4 or 5 years development.
Wow.
Even though I do a lot also that takes time, but this is just, I'm in awe of this for him, and he's achieved a great thing with his relaunching the Chopin movement. Actually this year, some 25 years ago, somehow quietly in his corner. And I think that's what I appreciate about him. I think we're very, we are a very good team. And ever since, we've always stayed in the same office. I mean, we moved around the company a couple of times in different buildings, but in the first time my dad said, you can have separate offices if you want. And then we slept over it one night, and then we both said, we didn't talk to each other. We both said, no, we want to stay together. So he's a very important figure in my life.
Excellent. Is he protective?
He's a perfectionist, total perfectionist. Everything to the smallest detail in whatever he does.
Wow, superb. Being in a family business, you didn't have to go through the woman coming into a men's world?
Sure, it was not the same for me to start as when my brother started. It was very natural that the son would come. But when I came, they said, oh my God, she's coming. And I didn't do anything. I don't know why it was like this. There was one gentleman which was working in the office. He said, if she's coming, I'm going. I didn't get it. I didn't do anything. I didn't want his place. I wasn't going to do his job. So it was difficult. I had to make myself my place and also prove that I am capable, maybe much more than my brother. For my brother it was more natural. For me it was also going to certain countries like Japan. When I told you before, I was traveling to Japan when I was 18, to going to these countries, and there's this girl coming and doing an exhibition, and it was not common at all. I was sent once to the Philippines, and it was Mrs. Marcus was still there, and we had also an exhibition, a shop opening, and I was like, maybe 20. So my father said, there's somebody from the family should go. So, but they want they want somebody with a title. Okay. So from one day to the next, I became the vice president. So I got out of the plane. There was a whole delegation receiving me, actually, from the government. And I came jeans, t-shirt, and I had little, German braids, And then I was traveling with one of our salesperson, and he came out, I was in front, and then somebody asked him, where's the vice president? And they said, it's her, it's she. And then they said, but this is a kid. so actually, the lady took me, and they took me to a big department store. It was a bit like Harrods. So where you have to buy a big national long dress and high heels, and they made my hair up and a lot of makeup so that I would look a little bit older. It was
a pretty woman in the jewelry world.
I still remember that one, yes.
Oh my God, that's so cool.
Yeah.
And then you wore the hat, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Having a family business is the similar way in the family business in our region, especially in the Gulf region. And I know that the Gulf region and the Gulf area, Middle East, was the first international market for Chopard. So this relationship between the family is very similar to the kind of relationship we have in our region. So values of the family are very important for you.
Absolutely. And actually it's very nice that after 3 years, we are seeing all our friends, business partners from the Middle East, especially, again, all together, and they all know each other, between each other. So it's like a reunited. And as you said, in still most of the Middle Eastern countries, it's family businesses. Whether it's in Dubai, Sediki, or also in Abu Dhabi, Sediki now, or Kuwait.
Qatar, Fardan, Saudi.
Qatar is Al Fardan, Saudi too, or Atta, and then also Trafalgar in Kuwait. So they're really all families.
Absolutely.
And my father started to work with the father, and now my brother and me, we work with the kids.
Wow, wow. if we go back to the inspiration part, you relate always to travel. You relate always to the real life, and you're always inspired either by experiences or by beautiful things that you see around you. How does it work in there?
Well, there's not a push button start. It works subconsciously, I would say. As you say, travels inspire me a lot, like a lot of countries, beautiful countries, tropical countries. Like, for example, Kashmir was inspired by the Russian Orthodox churches, you know, the roof, which looked like an onion. And I had been to Moscow the first time, so 20 years ago, something, 25. And I came on the Red Square, and the sun was just shining on these golden roofs, and they are really made out of gold. And that I like this shape. So there was an architectural element that inspired me for food collection. Other than that, it can be La Vie en Rose was obviously the song, Paradise, obviously our planet, Animal World for the 150 animals. So it can be really different things.
From a place to another.
But there's not a moment where you can sort of you say sit down and now I have to have an idea.
No,
it doesn't
come like that.
No.
Art pieces and jewelry, they're not dedicated to one part of the world, but which is the most appealing for women from the Middle East and from our region?
Well, I think worldwide, I mean, the happy sport is a worldwide renowned timepiece, which is really the DNA of Chopin on the watch side, I would say. And then I think the Middle East appreciates a lot our long sautoir, the happy hearts, the bangles. It's because it's also for the younger generation, and you can mix and match and stack up. And Ice Cube as well is doing very well in the Middle East. But I think, you know, a good collection appeals to the whole world. A piece is good when the Middle East likes it, when South America likes it, and the Americans and the Europeans. Then the piece is a good piece.
Caroline, you gave the accessibility of this beautiful, mysterious world to everyone, because your vision is the transparency, and you want everyone to know everything about the jewelry, where it comes from, where it's going from, how it's manufactured, the history. So how did this came to you? Because I think it's never enough with you. You always have to go a step.
Well, we started with the sustainability to really, I mean, go in that direction in 2011. When I was in LA with Colin first and his wife Livia first. And I mean, somehow I was always there, and we respect the way we do. I mean, the way we produce and what we do, because we are living in Switzerland also. And the Swiss are very conscious about nature. But then there was a moment where, there I can say it was a push button, when Livia asked me, because we were having coffee, and she's telling me about her engagement in sustainable fashion with her company Eco Age. And then she said to me, "Oh, Caroline, where does your gold come from?" I said, UBS, Credit Suisse. But before I finished answering, I said, actually, I don't really know. I mean, I don't know. I know it comes from mines, from Africa or from Canada or different countries on the planet, but I didn't really know. And
it triggered something.
That moment really triggered me. And then I go back immediately after LA. I go to my brother. I said, you know, I said yes without asking you, but I know you will agree that we have to do something about our supply chains. That we really have to know where the gold is coming from. So he said, of course, because he has the same mindset. And then we started really actively. The first mine went through due diligence, and in that year, a small family type of owned mine in South America. And then we got the first 80 kilos of fair mine gold, where we exactly knew from the mine to us, not spoiling the planet. The miners, they were getting fixed salaries, which normally they did not, because they only get something when they find something, so they can't take care of their families. No kids in the mine, not spoiling anymore the planet by putting the mercury that you need to separate the gold from the stones. All of that and more. But first 80 kilos came, and then we said we make the first high jewelry pieces, because that was the easiest thing to do, as it's all handmade. But very soon afterwards, we start to make the first little boutique collection. And there
you made it difficult for the production, but then
it made it in the beginning. We had to, explain to our employees why. Because they used to do it in one way, and all of a sudden they have to do it not in a different way, but in the beginning it was like a production within the production. So that gold never touched, let's call it the traditional gold, where we really didn't know the origin 100%. But it now, very soon we managed that all the production is done like this now, and we only use fair mine gold, ethical gold, recycled gold. So we managed. So it means you can do it. But it's something that is close to our hearts, and the whole company, I think if any employee you ask, they're proud of it, because it's a step forward. And I think luxury should also stand for transparency.
Definitely, and well, this is the asset of the house and of their mentors, because you have a vision, and maybe it looks complicated and difficult now, but you are setting the base for
the future.
For the future, which is great, which is amazing. I wanted to talk about the happy spirit, the happy as a word, the happy as a lifestyle, the happy as attitude, the happy as a simple right for everyone. Do you think we still need this message nowadays?
I think we need it more and more nowadays than before, and that's also one of the reasons we have introduced the Pure Happiness campaign. But we had already developed it before the COVID. So it was not done because of COVID. It was just the general feeling and happy. The word happy is very important in Etrupa, because we have a lot of collections around happy, because it represents the happy diamond. And in a way, it's my mom who invented that name, happy diamond, because when a diamond is free, it's happy. It's just like, it more comes from people. When people are free, they are happy. And through this little diamond, we communicate this happiness. And the campaign is actually doing very well. So it's very Chopin. And as I said, I think we need today, as we speak, the happiness, the happy feeling more than ever, because there's so much going on in our crazy world.
We're going to talk about your team and the atelier and artisans that you cherish a lot. But I want to talk about another atelier, which is your atelier. I think there's a workshop in there. You work on yourself a lot, and you learned how to give time to yourself, because I think part of your life were like dedicated to work and to the businesswoman. And at some points or some times of your life, did you feel that you neglected yourself a bit or not?
At a certain stage, I thought I really don't have time to myself anymore. And that was actually in the year 2019. I was traveling like no tomorrow. I was 6 times in China, 4 times in America. I don't know how many times in the different places, Middle East, in Russia, and I was just going zigzagging around the planet, working. And I did feel very exhausted at the end of the year when actually COVID came. So I think it came somehow in the right moment, and all of a sudden you were there and you said, stop.
Yes.
And that's when I also realize that yes, there's other things. Pampering yourself a bit, doing things that you like to do, seeing friends that you haven't seen or you didn't give enough time to, or especially also the family. So, and now that it sort of starts again, I'm trying to, you know, be a little bit more choosy, not say yes to everybody and everything, do the very important things, but, you know, also enjoy some more time home. And I think that's the right thing to do.
There's no doubt and no surprise that you're a big role model for the new generation. For these little girls and little young women that they want to get into this business or any other business, what would you tell them?
Well, I think you have to follow your intuition, you have to follow your dreams. No matter in which direction you go, what you do, you have to do it with conviction and passion. You shouldn't go into an area that you don't understand or you don't like. So I think it's very important, like maybe there's two important choices to make in life. One is the private one. Who do I get married to? Who, you know, what type of person do I want to spend the rest of my life with? And the second one is definitely work-wise, what area do I want to go in? What do I like to do? What do I know how to do? I can only say languages are a very important base, so learn as many as you can. Being open-minded to the world is an important part of a person, because that opens a lot of doors. And I mean, get passionate about what you do.
Absolutely. Social media has impacted the whole world, and you have taken part of it in a way that, you know, you cannot ignore it. We cannot ignore and neglected it. Some of the young generation, they use social media and they only want to be rich and famous, and they don't know how to build a career or how to think how to have a career, because now they think that using these tools they can build a life and a career. What do you think?
Well, I think it's, as you say, it's become part of our daily life. It shouldn't take over. It's a good way to communicate, but it can also be very dangerous. There's a lot of fake news. So I think you always have to keep it a bit distant from you. I mean, also, I think people misuse it by, especially in the young generation too, by, you know, putting bad comments on a friend, and then it can harm people badly. So I think we should be very careful in how we use it and when we use it, and use it for the good communication, not you know, hiding and aggressing people. Or
how much you share on social media of your life?
Well, we have a Chopin official site, and then I have Chopin by Caroline. I think if you go through my personal one, it'll always be a good message.
Quotes, I love it. It's always positive quotes. It's always nice messages.
Yeah. It's a bit of everything. You see my dogs, you see me cooking, you see messages that I find important. You see some of the new collection. I like to, you know, whatever comes first. But I think I never wrote anything bad.
Excellent.
And I won't.
Never ever. My dearest Caroline.
Yes?
What do you think if we create a mood board for your life, and I want you to choose moments, elements, objects, personalities that had a role in your life, affected you, and made us discover this beautiful woman today?
So where do I start?
Childhood?
Childhood. Mm-hmm. Obviously my parents. The Black Forest in the Swiss snow. Mm-hmm. The mountains, again with snow. I'm thinking of skiing.
Okay.
My piano, dogs have always been an important part in my life. My first dog, most of all. A heart. Brushes and pencils. My little red dress. Not a black dress, a little black dress. Some people that I have met, which sort of I then worked with Elton John, the music of Elton, Cannes, important part of my life. The first design of the Palme, redesign of the Palme d'Or. My grandparents, more on the side of my mom because they lived in the same village, so I spent a lot of time with them. And my first little piece of jewelry, which was not the clown, it was a little ruby in a shape of a heart that my dad brought back from Thailand. Cucumbers, because I always used to love to eat, and I still do. Cucumbers.
Yeah, cucumbers.
Yeah.
The movie?
Sunshine.
Oh, Sunshine.
Sunshine, the sea.
Okay.
Being on the sea. There's nothing around, just on a boat. A movie, Gone with the Wind.
Okay.
And all the movies of Charlie Chaplin.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I can see it. That this mood board change when your mood changes.
Of course, there's always additions to the mood board. I mean, the mood board gets bigger as we go on, as we get older. But I would say, okay, of course, if I may be in a bad mood, I'm not adding something on the board, because eventually the bad mood goes away, and then you have something stuck there that you don't want there.
Caroline, thank you so much for having us, and it's always an immense pleasure talking to you and having this. I can't explain it to people. They have to feel and see. I'm sure they're feeling it.
It's great to have you back after all this time.
Absolutely.
And I do look forward to welcome you in Cannes.
Looking forward.
Which is around the corner.
Absolutely.
With one foot in Watches and Wonder, but me personally, I'm already with one
You're there.
in Cannes preparing Cannes.
Cannes Film Festival.
Which is a big one this year. We have 25 years of Chopin in Cannes.
Wow.
And the festival is celebrating 75 years. So it's promising.
Amazing, amazing. Cool. Looking forward to it. Thank you so much. Thank you, my darling. Thanks.